She made us all laugh so hard as Fran Fine, the nanny. And now here she is, Fran Drescher. And Fran, you're making us laugh at perhaps not a real laughing matter, cancer, but you bring such a shining bright light to all of us, and we are so happy and excited that you're here in Winnipeg.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. It certainly is a worthwhile cause, and whenever I can speak to a large room of people about survival and prevention, most important, I welcome the opportunity.
Oh, okay, so Fran, for some that may not know your story, take us back. I mean, we all dread to hear those words, you have cancer, but your journey.
Well, I was experiencing symptoms which turned out to be classic uterine cancer symptoms, but it took me 2 years and 8 doctors to get a proper diagnosis. I fell through the cracks every step of the way and got in the stirrups more times than Roy Rogers. And, but that is because I didn't fit the typical profile for the person that may get it, meaning most women that get it, 75% of them are either postmenopausal or overweight. But 25% of the women that get uterine cancer are actually young and thin. So that's why I wasn't diagnosed right away, and that got me onto this path of purpose and educating people through my organization, Cancer Schmancer Movement, which was morphed out of the New York Times best-selling book, Cancer Schmancer, of how to transform from being a patient into a medical consumer, how to take control of your body, and how to become better partners with your physician. Because ultimately, when you are experiencing symptoms, those could be early warning whispers of a cancer. And all too often, that is the time when it's the most curable, but also the easiest to deny. So we're engaging and motivating people to recognize those early warning whispers, as I call them, and then become proactive and say, this could be nothing, but God forbid it's something. I want to catch it right at the onset because I want to be alive and well for my family. So catch it on arrival, 95% survival.
Wow, I mean, you've been through so much, Fran, and likely like every other woman that has been diagnosed with cancer, but I guess your reason, or what was it that you're here today and you're such a strong supporter and, you know, to get checked and to be preventive?
Well, I feel like I got famous, I got cancer, and I lived to talk about it. So I'm talking, you know. I knew God gave me this voice for a reason. And I'm sounding the alarm because once you wake up and smell the coffee, it's hard to go back to sleep.
No, it certainly is. What are you up to now, Fran?
Well, my organization, Cancer Schmancer, has been very proactive in our prevention campaign because it turns out around 90% or more of most cancers and a whole host of other chronic diseases that we're seeing escalating in numbers is because of environmental causes. And the home is the most toxic place we spend the most time in. And ironically, that we have the most control over. So we can effectively reduce our risk of cancer as well as many other diseases, everything from, you know, arthritis to asthma to migraine headaches, by simply making better, healthier choices for what we put in our mouth, on our skin, one of the largest organs in the body, what we clean with and what we garden with, in, on, and around. If we start doing that, we can start, you know, shifting this paradigm towards something that's much healthier for ourselves and our families, and at the same time start dictating manufacturing trends. Because at the end of the day, manufacturers don't want to kill us, they simply want to sell us. But they'll sell us anything that we're prepared to buy. So if we at Cancer Schmancer can galvanize North Americans to detox your home, we intend to make detox your home the don't drink and drive of the 21st century.
Wow. I'm sitting here listening to you, or standing here, and Fran, I guess, maybe you were dealt, a bad hand, but you made things good for you. What have you learned personally out of this whole journey that you've been on?
Well, first of all, you got to play the hand that's been dealt you, and play it as courageously and elegantly as you possibly can. What you thought was going to be isn't. What is. And turning pain into purpose is extremely healing. So I'm not glad I had cancer, and I don't wish it on anyone, but I am better for it. And sometimes the best gifts come in the ugliest packages. So we have to recognize that no one has a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now, let alone for the rest of our lives. We make choices thinking that we're heading in a certain direction, but it's an abstract idea because it's not real until it's real. And so no one leaves this planet unscathed. And when, life sideswipes you on some Wednesday afternoon, you're going to kick and scream and cry and say, "Dear Lord, why me?" But eventually, you have to stop doing that. And you have to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and just put one foot in front of the other, playing the hand that has been dealt you, because that's what's reality. And that's one of the great life lessons that I learned. Also, side by side with pain lies joy. It's part of the experience of life. And when you're mired in the depths of despair, it's very hard to look outside of that box and see the tiny miracles of life, the joys that love brings you, the pleasures and gifts that you've been given, in spite of the fact that you're going through a difficult journey. And it's your responsibility to yourself to seek those out, to see them, even though you're being blinded by despair, and start creating more of a balance as soon as you can. There's an art to living life joyfully. And it doesn't mean that bad things aren't going to happen. It just means that you're going to be challenged at that point to seek out where the opportunities are for you to get through this journey as a more refined version of yourself. If you can come out the other side with greater insight, wisdom, love, and hopefully good health, you will be a better person for it.
Well, you are a shining example. One last laugh for us, Fran. Fran, we love you.
That's my seal act. It doesn't matter what I say at the end of the day, it's, can you laugh for us? And on my tombstone, I think we should just write, "Her laugh made us laugh," because I don't think anything else is going to be remembered.
Oh, no.
When my parents sometimes are interviewed, and they ask them, did she always have a funny voice? And my mom, in a very similar voice, says, "We never knew she had a funny voice." So.
Forever in our hearts, Fran Drescher. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.